Have you ever gone to bed feeling perfectly fine, only to wake up the next morning with a blood pressure reading that seems much higher than expected? You haven't changed your medication, you slept through the night, yet somehow your numbers climbed while you were asleep. What if I told you that the answer might already be sitting inside your refrigerator? Most people assume high blood pressure is something that develops slowly over months or years, and that's certainly true. But what many people over the age of 60 don't realize is that certain foods eaten in the evening can temporarily push blood pressure significantly higher overnight by affecting fluid balance, blood vessel function, stress hormones, and even the way your kidneys regulate sodium while you sleep. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Your cardiovascular system doesn't simply turn off when you go to bed. In fact, your body spends the entire night performing maintenance. Your kidneys filter blood. Your liver processes nutrients. Your nervous system shifts between recovery and repair. Hormones rise and fall in carefully timed rhythms. Blood vessels naturally relax so your blood pressure can dip during healthy sleep. That nighttime drop is incredibly important. Doctors call it nocturnal dipping. In healthy individuals, blood pressure usually falls by around 10 to 20% during sleep. But after the age of 60, many people lose this protective pattern. Instead of dipping, their blood pressure stays elevated or even rises overnight. Research has consistently shown that this non-dipping pattern is associated with a higher risk of heart attack, stroke, kidney disease, and cognitive decline. The surprising part is that what you eat for dinner, or even as a late-night snack, can influence whether your body experiences healthy nighttime recovery or unnecessary cardiovascular stress. Now, this isn't simply about avoiding the salt shaker. Some foods raise blood pressure because they're loaded with sodium. Others trigger insulin spikes that encourage the kidneys to retain sodium and water. Some increase inflammation or reduce the production of nitric oxide, the molecule that helps blood vessels stay relaxed. Others interfere with sleep, increase nighttime cortisol, or worsen age-related changes in vascular function. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your circulatory system as a network of flexible garden hoses. When those hoses are relaxed and flexible, water flows easily, with very little pressure. But if the hoses become stiff, narrowed, or filled with excess fluid, pressure rises almost immediately. That's exactly what can happen inside your arteries after certain evening meals. The encouraging news is that this process is often far more reversible than people think. In today's video, we're going to examine 3 common refrigerator foods that many adults over 60 eat every single week, often believing they're harmless, that may quietly contribute to higher blood pressure overnight. More importantly, I'll show you what to replace them with, why those alternatives work at the physiological level, and how small nutritional changes can help support healthier blood pressure, better sleep, improve circulation, and healthier aging. The first food hiding in many refrigerators is processed deli meat. Things like sliced turkey, ham, roast beef, salami, bologna, smoked chicken, and other packaged cold cuts. Many people choose these because they're convenient, high in protein, and often marketed as lean or heart healthy. But when we look beyond the label, we find a very different story. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Most processed meats contain extremely high amounts of sodium. One small serving can easily provide 500 to 900 milligrams of sodium, and many people eat 2 or 3 servings in a single sandwich without realizing it. Add cheese, bread, pickles, or condiments, and you've already exceeded half of the recommended daily sodium intake in one meal. Now, sodium itself isn't the villain. Your body actually needs sodium to conduct nerve signals, contract muscles, and maintain fluid balance. The problem begins when sodium intake consistently exceeds what your kidneys can efficiently remove, especially after age 60. As we grow older, kidney function naturally becomes less efficient. Even healthy kidneys filter blood more slowly than they did decades earlier. At the same time, blood vessels gradually become stiffer, making them less able to accommodate changes in blood volume. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine filling a balloon with water. A brand new balloon stretches easily, but an older balloon has lost some of its elasticity. Add the same amount of water and the pressure inside rises much faster. Your arteries behave in a similar way. Aging makes them less flexible, so excess fluid creates greater pressure against the vessel walls. When you eat a sodium-heavy dinner, your bloodstream temporarily holds on to more water to maintain the proper concentration of sodium. That extra fluid increases blood volume, giving your heart more work to do. During the night, instead of allowing blood pressure to fall naturally, your cardiovascular system may stay under unnecessary strain. There's another layer to this. Many processed meats also contain preservatives, such as nitrates and nitrites. While these compounds help preserve freshness and prevent bacterial growth, diets high in ultra-processed meats have been associated with increased inflammation and impaired blood vessel function. Chronic inflammation reduces the availability of nitric oxide, the molecule that tells your arteries to relax and widen. What the research shows is that diets emphasizing minimally processed foods while limiting processed meats are consistently associated with healthier blood pressure and lower cardiovascular risk. Large dietary studies, including those examining the DASH eating pattern and Mediterranean-style eating, repeatedly demonstrate that replacing processed meats with fresh protein sources supports healthier vascular function and better long-term heart health. So what should you do instead? Choose freshly cooked chicken breast, turkey breast, baked salmon, grilled fish, boiled eggs, or homemade shredded chicken that you prepare yourself. These options provide high-quality protein without the excessive sodium found in many packaged meats. If you do purchase deli meat occasionally, read the nutrition label carefully. Aim for products labeled low sodium, and remember that natural or organic doesn't automatically mean low in sodium. Marketing claims can be misleading, but the Nutrition Facts panel tells the real story. Another simple strategy is to build your evening meal around vegetables first. Fill at least half your plate with colorful vegetables, then add a palm-sized serving of fresh protein and healthy fats, like olive oil or avocado. This naturally lowers the overall sodium density of the meal, while increasing potassium, magnesium, and antioxidants that support healthy blood vessel function. Timing matters as well. Try to finish dinner at least 3 hours before bedtime. This gives your digestive system time to process the meal and allows your kidneys to better regulate fluid balance before you sleep. And here's an important reminder. If you're finding this information helpful so far, consider subscribing to the channel. Every week, we break down complex health science into practical, evidence-based strategies you can start using immediately to support healthy aging, metabolic health, and longevity. Now let's move on to the second refrigerator food. One that surprises almost everyone because it's commonly promoted as a healthy choice, yet under certain conditions, it may quietly contribute to higher blood pressure overnight. The second food may surprise you even more because it's often marketed as one of the healthiest choices in the dairy aisle. Flavored yogurt, especially low-fat or fat-free varieties with added sugar. Now, before anyone misunderstands me, plain yogurt itself can absolutely be part of a healthy diet. In fact, unsweetened yogurt provides high-quality protein, calcium, and beneficial probiotics that support gut health. The problem isn't the yogurt, it's what manufacturers often add to it. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Many flavored yogurts contain anywhere from 15 to 25 grams of added sugar in a single serving. Some contain even more, especially dessert-style varieties with fruit syrups, cookie pieces, or sweet toppings. Eating one of these after dinner or as a bedtime snack can create a rapid rise in blood glucose, followed by a significant insulin response. Why does that matter for blood pressure? Insulin is much more than a blood sugar hormone. It also communicates with your kidneys. When insulin levels rise repeatedly, the kidneys are signaled to retain more sodium. And where sodium goes, water follows. That means more fluid stays inside your bloodstream, increasing blood volume and placing additional pressure on your arteries. This effect becomes even more important after the age of 60 because many older adults have some degree of insulin resistance, even if they haven't been diagnosed with diabetes. In insulin resistance, the body must produce larger amounts of insulin to achieve the same effect on blood sugar. Higher insulin levels mean stronger signals for sodium retention. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of insulin as a warehouse manager, directing where nutrients should be stored. In a healthy system, the manager gives clear instructions, and everything runs smoothly. But with insulin resistance, the workers stop responding efficiently. The manager starts shouting louder and louder, producing more insulin to get the same job done. Those louder signals don't just affect blood sugar. They also tell the kidneys to hold on to more sodium and water, increasing the workload on your cardiovascular system. There's another issue many people don't consider. A large amount of added sugar late in the evening can interfere with your normal overnight hormonal rhythm. Blood sugar may rise and then fall quickly during the night. In some individuals, this drop triggers the release of stress hormones, like adrenaline and cortisol, to stabilize glucose levels. These hormones can increase heart rate, tighten blood vessels, and contribute to higher nighttime blood pressure, while also disrupting deep, restorative sleep. What the research shows is that diets high in added sugars, particularly from ultra-processed foods and sugar-sweetened products, are associated with poorer metabolic health and may contribute to hypertension over time. On the other hand, eating patterns that emphasize whole foods, adequate protein, fiber, and minimal added sugar are consistently linked with healthier blood pressure and improved insulin sensitivity. So, what should you choose instead? If you enjoy yogurt, select plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. It contains significantly more protein and much less sugar than flavored versions. If you want sweetness, add your own fresh berries, a few chopped walnuts, cinnamon, or a small sprinkle of ground flaxseed. These additions provide fiber, healthy fats, and antioxidants that slow glucose absorption and support vascular health. Another excellent option is to pair plain Greek yogurt with a handful of blueberries. Blueberries contain polyphenols that help reduce oxidative stress and support the production of nitric oxide, allowing blood vessels to relax more effectively. Combined with the protein in Greek yogurt, this creates a satisfying evening snack without the dramatic blood sugar spike. It's also helpful to make dessert less of a nightly habit. If you crave something sweet after dinner, ask yourself whether you're truly hungry or simply following a routine. Often, a cup of herbal tea or a protein-rich snack is enough to satisfy the craving while keeping your blood sugar and blood pressure on a steadier path overnight. The goal isn't to eliminate every enjoyable food. It's to understand how seemingly healthy products can behave very differently inside the body depending on their ingredients, your age, and the time of day you eat them. In the next section, we'll look at the third refrigerator food, one that's found in millions of homes, often recommended as convenient, yet capable of delivering a surprisingly large sodium load that can quietly raise blood pressure while you sleep. The third refrigerator food is packaged soups and refrigerated ready-to-eat meals. These include refrigerated noodle soups, creamy chowders, microwave pasta dishes, prepared casseroles, refrigerated rice bowls, and many heat-and-eat meals that promise convenience after a long day. Convenience is valuable, especially as we get older, but unfortunately, convenience often comes with a hidden cost. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Many refrigerated prepared meals contain between 800 and 1,500 milligrams of sodium in just one serving. Some contain even more. And here's the catch. What looks like one serving on the label is often only half of what most people actually eat. Imagine eating a refrigerated chicken noodle soup with crackers or a prepared pasta meal around 7 p.m. Within a few hours, your digestive system has absorbed a large amount of sodium into your bloodstream. Your body now has a challenge. Maintain the correct sodium concentration while you're getting ready to sleep. Your kidneys immediately begin working to restore balance, but after age 60, kidney efficiency naturally declines, even in people with no diagnosed kidney disease. This means sodium may remain in circulation longer than it did when you were younger. And remember something important: water always follows sodium. As sodium stays in your bloodstream, your body retains additional water to keep everything in balance. That extra fluid increases blood volume, which means your heart has to pump against greater pressure throughout the night. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Picture your home's plumbing system. If someone suddenly increases the amount of water flowing through the pipes while the pipe diameter stays the same, pressure inside the pipes increases. Your circulatory system behaves similarly. More circulating fluid inside arteries that have naturally become less flexible with age leads to higher blood pressure. But sodium isn't the only concern. Many refrigerated meals are also low in potassium, one of the most important minerals for maintaining healthy blood pressure. Potassium helps your kidneys excrete excess sodium and supports normal muscle function, including the smooth muscles that line your blood vessels. Think of sodium and potassium as two sides of a balancing scale. Modern diets often overload one side with sodium while leaving the potassium side nearly empty. That imbalance makes it much harder for your cardiovascular system to regulate blood pressure efficiently. Research consistently supports this concept. Studies have shown that diets rich in vegetables, fruits, legumes, and other potassium-containing whole foods are associated with healthier blood pressure levels, while diets high in ultra-processed, sodium-rich foods are linked with an increased risk of hypertension and cardiovascular disease. It's not simply about eating less salt, it's about restoring the balance between sodium and potassium. So, what are the practical solutions? Instead of relying on packaged soups several nights a week, prepare a large batch of homemade vegetable soup using fresh ingredients. Add chicken, turkey, lentils, or beans for protein, and season it with herbs, garlic, onions, black pepper, turmeric, rosemary, or thyme instead of relying heavily on salt. If you purchase prepared meals, compare nutrition labels carefully. Choose options containing less than 600 milligrams of sodium per serving whenever possible. You'll be surprised by how much the sodium content can vary between brands. Another strategy is to upgrade convenience foods. If you have a packaged soup, dilute it with extra vegetables like spinach, broccoli, zucchini, mushrooms, or cauliflower. This lowers the sodium concentration per bite, while increasing fiber, potassium, magnesium, and antioxidants. You can also support healthy blood pressure by including potassium-rich foods with dinner, such as spinach, avocado, tomatoes, mushrooms, or cooked beans, unless your healthcare provider has advised you to limit potassium because of kidney disease or certain medications. And don't overlook hydration. Many people intentionally drink less water in the evening because they don't want to wake up during the night. While that's understandable, chronic dehydration can actually make it harder for your kidneys to regulate sodium efficiently. Aim to stay well hydrated throughout the day, then simply avoid consuming large amounts of fluid right before bedtime. If you're learning something new today, consider subscribing to the channel. Every video is designed to help you understand the science behind healthy aging so you can make confident, practical decisions that support your heart, metabolism, and longevity without relying on confusing health myths. Now that we've covered the 3 refrigerator foods that may quietly push blood pressure higher overnight, the next section will explore simple daily habits that can help your body naturally maintain healthier blood pressure while you sleep. Now that we've identified the 3 refrigerator foods that can quietly contribute to higher blood pressure overnight, let's shift our focus to something even more valuable: how to create an evening routine that actively helps your blood pressure come down while you sleep. Because avoiding harmful foods is only half of the equation, the real goal is to create an internal environment where your blood vessels can relax, your kidneys can maintain healthy fluid balance, and your nervous system can move into a true state of recovery. Here's what's really going on inside your body. As evening approaches, your brain begins producing melatonin, the hormone that helps prepare your body for sleep. At the same time, cortisol, your primary stress hormone, should gradually decline. Your heart rate slows, your blood vessels relax, and blood pressure naturally begins its nightly dip. But this delicate system is incredibly sensitive. A heavy late-night meal, excessive sodium, alcohol, poor sleep, emotional stress, or even eating too close to bedtime can interfere with these normal biological rhythms. Instead of entering repair mode, your body stays metabolically active for much of the night. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine you're trying to clean your house. It's much easier if everyone leaves so you can work uninterrupted. But if people keep walking through every room making new messes, cleaning becomes almost impossible. Your body works the same way. During sleep, your organs perform maintenance. Your blood vessels repair microscopic damage. Your kidneys regulate fluid and electrolytes. Your immune system reduces inflammation. Your brain clears metabolic waste through the lymphatic system. But if digestion is still working overtime because of a large, processed meal eaten an hour before bed, many of those recovery processes become less efficient. That's why meal timing matters almost as much as meal quality. For most adults over 60, finishing dinner at least 3 hours before bedtime gives the digestive system enough time to complete much of its work before sleep begins. This doesn't mean you have to go to bed hungry. If you genuinely need a snack, choose something that supports stable blood sugar rather than disrupting it. Excellent options include a handful of unsalted almonds, plain Greek yogurt with cinnamon, a boiled egg, cottage cheese with sliced cucumber, or a few walnuts. These foods provide protein and healthy fats that are less likely to trigger large insulin spikes compared with sugary desserts or refined carbohydrates. Another powerful strategy is increasing dietary magnesium. Magnesium participates in more than 300 enzymatic reactions throughout the body, including those involved in muscle relaxation and blood vessel function. While supplements may be appropriate for some individuals, after discussing them with a healthcare professional, many people can increase magnesium naturally through foods like pumpkin seeds, spinach, almonds, black beans, and dark leafy greens. Physical activity also deserves attention. You don't need an intense workout after dinner. In fact, vigorous exercise too close to bedtime may temporarily elevate heart rate and delay sleep in some people. Instead, consider a gentle 15 to 20-minute walk after your evening meal. This simple habit offers several benefits at once. It helps muscles use glucose more efficiently, supports insulin sensitivity, aids digestion, and may reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes that contribute to sodium retention and vascular stress. Sleep quality itself is another major piece of the puzzle. Poor sleep increases activity in the sympathetic nervous system, the fight-or-flight branch that raises heart rate and constricts blood vessels. Night after night, insufficient sleep can make healthy blood pressure much harder to maintain. Aim for a cool, dark, quiet bedroom. Limit bright screens during the hour before bed, and try to maintain a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends. Your cardiovascular system responds remarkably well to predictable daily rhythms. Finally, don't underestimate the role of stress. Even if you've chosen the perfect dinner, chronic emotional stress can keep cortisol elevated long into the evening. Deep breathing, light stretching, prayer, meditation, reading, or simply spending a few quiet minutes reflecting on the day can help activate your parasympathetic nervous system, the branch responsible for rest, recovery, and healing. Remember, blood pressure isn't determined by one food or one evening. It's the result of hundreds of small choices repeated consistently over time. When you combine smarter food choices with better meal timing, restorative sleep, gentle movement, and effective stress management, you're addressing the root causes rather than simply reacting to the numbers on the blood pressure monitor. In the next section, we'll bring all of these strategies together into a practical daily blueprint that's easy to follow and can help support healthier blood pressure, better energy, and long-term cardiovascular health. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with one encouraging message. Your blood pressure is not determined by your age alone. While aging does bring natural changes to your blood vessels, kidneys, and hormones, many of the factors that influence your blood pressure every single day are still within your control. Today, we looked beyond the numbers on the blood pressure monitor and focused on the root causes. We discussed how processed deli meats can overload your body with sodium, increasing fluid retention and making your heart work harder overnight. We explored why flavored yogurts with added sugar can trigger insulin spikes that encourage the kidneys to hold on to sodium, while also disrupting healthy nighttime hormone patterns. And we examined how packaged soups and refrigerated, ready-to-eat meals often combine excessive sodium with low potassium, creating the perfect conditions for higher nighttime blood pressure. But just as importantly, we talked about the solutions. Choosing fresh, minimally processed foods, building dinners around vegetables, quality protein, and healthy fats, finishing meals at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime, taking a gentle walk after dinner, prioritizing restorative sleep, managing stress, reading nutrition labels more carefully. These may sound like small habits, but together they create a powerful foundation for healthier arteries, better metabolic function, and improved cardiovascular resilience. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Every healthy meal sends your cells a message. Every night of quality sleep allows your blood vessels to repair themselves. Every walk after dinner helps your muscles use glucose more efficiently. Every reduction in excess sodium makes it easier for your kidneys to maintain the delicate balance of fluids that keeps blood pressure under control. Your body is constantly responding to the choices you make. The good news is that it wants to heal. Give it the right environment, and remarkable improvements are often possible over time. Let me leave you with one simple challenge. Tonight, before you prepare dinner or reach for a late-night snack, open your refrigerator and look at it with fresh eyes. Ask yourself 3 questions. Is this food highly processed? How much sodium or added sugar does it contain? What whole food alternative could I choose instead? You don't need to throw everything away or completely change your diet overnight. Simply replace one food this week, then replace another next week. Those small decisions, repeated consistently, become powerful long-term habits. And remember, while nutrition is incredibly important, it works best as part of a complete lifestyle that includes regular movement, stress management, adequate sleep, and routine medical care. If you already have high blood pressure or take medication, never stop or adjust your treatment without speaking with your healthcare provider. Think of these strategies as tools that support your overall cardiovascular health alongside professional medical guidance. The goal isn't perfection, the goal is progress. Because every healthier meal, every better night's sleep, and every smarter choice is an investment in the next decade of your life. If this video helped you understand your body a little better, I'd truly appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. It helps more people discover evidence-based health information they can actually use. And if you're serious about improving your metabolism, protecting your heart, supporting healthy aging, and living with more energy and confidence, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. I share new science-backed strategies every week to help you take control of your health naturally. Thank you so much for watching, take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.